going on, everybody? Let me click on some music so we got some sultry sounds. All right. Hello again. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Shin, aka Old Head, watching TV, aka Larry, and we're gonna get into this thing. But first of all, welcome to the Dixon Way. I'm your host. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding ding, to get all our latest videos. So we about to get into this House of Dragons episode 2 spoiler review. So this is your warning. If you have not watched it yet, please don't watch this video. Bookmark it, go watch House of Dragons, then come back and then look at the video and see if we agree or disagree with the show. But yeah, second episode, fire. Still kind of bothers me about the little incest thing that they have, obviously prevalent in this age and time. So, but like I told you guys in the first video, I'm relatively new to Game of Thrones. Never watched the original series at all. Never read the books. So this is coming from a new perspective, you know, if you want to say. So let's get into it. I wrote a lot of notes because I really like this show. Let me get to my notes. All right, so I can stay on point when I'm talking about my points. All right, first of all, in the last video, I like to clear up a few things. I did make a mistake. I thought that Princess Anna was pregnant with Rhaenyra when the old king chose Visera as the king. So that's my bad. That was one of her miscarriages that she had before that she was speaking about she wasn't going through anymore. Right now, this show is gonna pop up 6 months after the queen's death. Okay, and it's also revealed that Rhaenyra is what, 15? Around 15 years old? Yeah. So her friend around 15 years old. So still creepy, but I mean, I thought they were like 10-year-old. They look really young. Anyway, so we start off. Yep, the show opens to dudes on the beach getting tortured, getting eaten alive, being staked to the beach, and then being eaten alive by crabs. So that's how it starts. So it starts kind of gruesome. And what this signifies is that an outside country is coming in and trying to take over, you know, the shipping lanes of the kingdom. Okay. So, basically they show that, and then it cuts to Lord Corrales coming in, you know, the black dude with the white dreads. He comes in, Corlys, excuse me. He comes in angry, like, hey, you know, the crab feeder is going around killing our men, you know, done took 4 boats. The last boat was mine, flew my flag. What we gonna do about this, dog? Like, I'm ready, you know, get the strap and go to war. So he asked the king, what you gonna do? You gonna knuck a buck? You know what I'm saying? And king like, I know about this situation. I'm gonna send some diplomats and they'll see if we can come to a peace. He's like, nah, man. What? And he looking at the king like, man, you mad weak. So the princess, you know, since she's supposed to be the heir, felt like she finally could speak up about stuff, even though they still had her just filling people's cup during the meeting. She steps up and say, why don't you send the dragon riders? to face this foe. It'll show, it'll show strength. And they try to buck, I'll burn them all down. No problem. So you already seeing that the princess ain't to be played with. But of course, people in the council trying to shush her up, kind of like how they try to shush her uncle up, Uncle Damon, by putting him in charge of the King's Guard. Now they're regretting that. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So they say, you know what, this is more the council's, matter. Why don't you go and vet the new knights who are going to be the King's guard? So I need you to go, come with me, Hightower, his uppity self, talking about, yo, come with me, lead this to the king. This ain't none of your business. We can go do some mundane stuff by picking out these knights. They already had picked out, but they just let her tag along just to make her feel like she was doing something. So they go and vet the knights. And then, these guys they're talking about their credentials and stuff like this. It's basically a job interview. All these knights are lined up. The princess is overlooking them at the top in the balcony, and they're all down in the courtyard. So she sits by, and this one guy stopped a poacher. You know what I'm saying? Another guy was just a tournament fighter. So she looks back at Hilton like, dude, any of these dudes done been to battle before, you know what I'm saying? Because if they gonna protect my father, they need to be able to have some combat, dog. Like they got to be out in these streets. We don't need somebody just being mall security protecting my dad. But basically, that's what she was. They pulled up this young dude. Hold on, let me get his name. Let me get his name before it. Sir Kristen Cole, all right? And he sought battle for a year, so she was like, I choose him. And then here come Hightower sneevily ass like, oh no, don't you think that this gentleman right here should be, more appropriate since his family is a higher class than Sir Cole's? He's like, no, I need a man who has seen actual battle and not these tournament guys, protecting my father. Don't you think the king deserved the best to protect him? He's like, okay, you right. You got it. You got it. All right. I see you flexing on me a little bit. I'm going to let that slide. So, after that, let me see my notes. Yeah. You can't bring no fake ass knights to protect the king, especially since, he's older and she's the only heir. So they need some dudes who really seen battle to protect them, especially since her uncle is gone now and been banished. More on that later. So next point is the king goes after he tells them, hey, they talk a little bit while she's going, and then he goes to retire in his chambers, in which Hightower's daughter is there again, Alicent, excuse me, and he's explaining the history of the city, and he has this huge model of the city with dragons and everything in his chambers. So he drops a dragon, breaks it. She helps pick it up. He looks and like, damn, I broke, one of my pieces of my model. It's a little bonding part between those two. I still find nasty as hell, but it is what it is at this moment. I mean, she been coming back to him for the past 6 months, comforting him, but I don't think that anything happened. But she's just been there talking. It seemed like they've just been talking and stuff like that. But what gives me pause a little bit is because the king is like, he asks about Rhaenyra and how is Rhaenyra doing? It's hard to speak to her now. We don't even speak after her mother died. Like, well, you should speak to your daughter. she'll welcome it if you actually, extending your hand out and speak to her, Your Highness. He said, "Oh yeah, did you tell her about our little, meetings and stuff? You coming to my chambers and stuff like that?" She was like, "No." Yeah, I fear she wouldn't understand. So that'd be like, man, she's taking this little girl draws like, oh, come on. All right, anyway. So let me get back on track before I get on the rant. All right. So we all know that Allison was a chick in the buggy waiting on Rhaenyra to get back from flying when the show first came on. She flew in, she landed with her dragon Cyrax, and then she got on the wagon with Allison. All right, that's her homegirl. That's her day one. So this whole little situation with the king and her is just like, oh, you keeping that information away from your best friend. That ain't good. All right, so she might be digging the king also. So hold on, let's see. Now, hold on. Okay, so yeah, after that happened, Alicent and Rhaenyra, they went to this temple where they kneeled in front of a altar full of candles. And Alicent was basically breaking it down in the easy way, like, your father's gonna have to take on a wife soon, and Rhaenyra just like, man, I don't want to hear that shit, man. My mama just died. It ain't even been a full year yet. What y'all talking about? She's all right. I'm just telling you, don't be surprised. Oh, she gonna be surprised. So after that, the black dude, Lord Coriolis, and his wife, Rhaenys, secretly met with the king in the garden. So, he wanted to apologize how, his tone and stuff like that towards the king. But he was just excited, just like, yo, man, these dudes is moving in my territory because I control the boats. I control the fleet. So when something happened on the fleet and we start losing ports, that's a bad look on me. So that's all I was saying. It was like, well, what do you propose? Do you think we just should go in there and just attack blindly and kill everybody? He's like, no. What I think we should do is unite our houses. I want you, and this is, I know people, when I talk to other people on Facebook and social media, they say, well, if you never seen Game of Thrones before, just be ready for the incest, dog. They believe in the purity of their own blood. So, since his wife was passed over to be the queen from the old king for her cousin, who is the king now, they devised a plan to say, hey, bro, you looking kind of weak right now, dog. I'm just going to be honest. You looking kind of weak. And since you are pure blood, you're the king, and my wife is your cousin, our child is the best suitor to be your next wife. So basically, Buddy was trying to pimp his daughter. Now, mind you, she's 12 years old. She looked like she's 8 years old. You don't even see her yet. You'll see her later in the episode. But yeah, that's... I don't know how they do it, but hey, that's how they did it back in the day. Whatever. So, him and his wife were trying to pimp out his daughter, basically saying, hey, yeah, we know she's young, but she's a pure Targaryen blood. So, she's the best suitor you'll ever have in the kingdom. So he started thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? They put that bug in his ear. He started thinking about it. And then as they were talking, Let's see. Let me see my notes. Go back. All right. So after that, the quote. We could go to that. Nah, I don't even want to go. We just gonna flash forward to when the king was talking with Allison. Excuse me. Lorena. Yeah, Lorena. That's their child. That's 12 years old. So they're back in the garden. He's walking with Lorena, and they're talking to each other, casual talk and stuff like that. And then she just breaks out in this. And this, what she said kind of broke me in half, dog. Like, I ain't even gonna front. I was like, yo, that's fucked up. So, it's like, let me read this exactly. The little girl came out, basically rehearsed this with her dad. It's like, it would be my honor to join our houses as they were in the old Valerian. And I will give you many children of pure Valerian Tigerian blood, so we can strengthen the royal line and the realm. Now, she said this with the fear of messing up and having to deal with her father. Like, that's the fear she looked like she had in her eyes. Like, what the medieval sex trafficking, yo? Like, yo, here go my 12-year-old daughter, bro. Like, I just want, more power, more control, and, the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna let you screw my 12-year-old daughter. But then, the king, he saw the fear in her eyes, so that was cool. He recognized how she was scared and how rehearsed that sound. He was like, did your father, tell you to say that? And she was silent with that same fear of her father. Silent. Didn't even shake her head. She was just like, then he's like, well, what did your mama say? What your mama say? And she was like, well, mama said that I ain't got to bed you until I'm 14. So a mother would tell her child that. But hey, that's back in that day. Shit crazy, dog. So yeah, that kind of, I was like, damn, that's crazy. So then they pan up out of the garden, and then you see Rhaenyra looking over her dad, talking to this little girl. All right. And then she looks over it and see her aunt, or her distant cousin, her second cousin, her eldest cousin, Rhaenys, the little girl mother. And she's like, does it anger you to know that the king is gonna have to re-wed so shortly after your mother passing? And being a little firecracker, boss bitch that Rhaenyra that the princess is, dog, she was like, do it hurt you that you gotta serve up your daughter to my daddy? She's like, oh, of course it do, but I know how things go. And basically she goes on, look, they had a chance to make a woman a queen, but they passed it over. So guess what? It's either my daughter or somebody else's daughter is going to come in, give him more heirs, and one of them going to be a boy, and the kingdom is going to expect that boy to take over, regardless of what your daddy said. The kingdom is going to anoint that boy as the heir. And eventually your father will too, because he's no dummy. He knows that the kingdom will fall apart, and they'll rather burn the kingdom than see a woman sit upon the iron throne. That's what she told him. She was like, well, just because you didn't get it, and then they got a nickname for her, the queen that never was. And that's what she said. Just because you didn't sit upon the throne, the queen that never was, don't mean I won't. They kneeled to me. He said, oh yeah, were they kneeling to you when you were handing them water with, still being a cupbearer in these meetings? Yeah, you better check yourself, young buck. I'm spitting you facts. You need to listen. So then she took a step back. She's like, damn, they do treat me the same way. Even though I'm supposed to be the heir to the throne, they still treat me the same way. So she stepped back. She's like, oh, okay. Maybe she's spitting some truth, So that little part ended. And then next, the king went back to his quarters, explaining to Allison that, the council's trying to pressure me to take a new queen, to remarry, just to strengthen and show the strength of the throne. Said, do you have any suitors? She's thinking that, seemed like she was thinking that he was going to say her. He was like, later, the Lauren, Lord Corbett's child, And she's like, oh, she'll make a good wife. She has pure Tigerian blood, so yeah, what better choice? Looked like she was kind of disappointed. He was like, yeah, I don't know, but she's way young. Now, funny he said that, but at least he saw she was way too young. But he was like, man, this chick too young. I don't know about this. So then Allison said, well, I got a gift for you. And then she opens a box, have him open a box. And then it's the dragon that he broke. She had one of the stonesmiths carve him out a new one or mend that one. So, a token of gratitude. Looked like he really appreciated that from her. So, they forming that bond. All right. So, as they were talking, Allison's father, Sir Hightower, walked in and was like, Your Highness, we got to talk, man. Bro, we got to have a meeting. Some shit just went down. So, they get back to the council and basically like, yo, your brother fucking up, bro. He done went in there, stole the dragon egg, saying he about to marry a hoe, one of his hoes that he was bragging about, he gonna marry his hoe, and he took over our island city, one of our closest coastal cities in Dragonstone. He said he about to take on a second wife like the old school king used to do. And you invited to the wedding, of course. So they're like, man, this dude need to be put in his place. What you gonna do? So everybody looking at him. And the king wanna go and face his brother. And Hightower like, nah, we don't know what your brother gonna do since he went and stole a dragon's egg. He might try to kill you, so let me go in your place. All right, you stay here. It's too dangerous to go. All right. Of course, the princess wanted to offer and said she wanted to go, but he's like, nah, no, you are not to go there. So that happened. All right. But of course, she's gonna go. Of course she's gonna go. So yeah, Hightower meets with Daemon in like basically a path or a bridge to Dragonstone to meet him. He had the King's Guard with the new Christos Knight and all the new King's Guard. Daemon had all his popo with the gold capes facing. It was like, what you gonna do, man? He ain't respect Hightower. So he's just like, look, man, I'm taking another. Hightower came and said, you're gonna denounce this whore. You're gonna give back that dragon's egg. and you're gonna leave this town, all right, and disband your army. Damon like, man, who the hell is you, dog? I don't answer to you. Where the king at? I don't see him. So obviously I ain't in the wrong. I'm just following tradition. Man, you better back up, dog. We'll get up out of here. You trespassing now, dog. He's like, oh, you gonna go to war against the king? So I ain't going against war against the king. The king put these men under my control. What are you talking about? I'm in the right. So they had a standoff. Buddy pull his sword. Hightower pull his sword. Damon pulled his sword out. Then his dragon came out like, oh, hold up. What? What's going on? Dragon looking like, hold up. Do I gotta burn some niggas today? No. Then, out of the blue, here come the princess flying on her dragon. Boom, swoop down, land in the middle of both of them. Boom. Oh, in the back, behind them, my bad. She walks through the crowd. She's like, hold on, man, I got this. Well, she rolled up. She's like, what up, So you sitting here telling people that you the rightful heir, huh? So what am I? You got a problem with me, huh? Well, I'm right here, dog. Do something about it. Do something about it. I ain't got no sword. You want the heir, strike me down so we can end this. You can be the heir. If not, give me the egg. So he looked at her. He just turned around, tossed her the egg, and walked off. All right, so, yeah. Princess is that boss. Yeah, like, she probably the best character in this whole show, period, point blank. And obviously, this show is going to be following her. I don't know what she is in the future. Right now, I know at 15, she need to be played with. And she went there to show that she wasn't to be played with. You know, not just disobeying her father, but also showing, like, hey, I'm not to be played with, uncle. I'm not to be played with, Hightower. I'm not to be played with by anybody in this. I am the heir, and I will show y'all that I'm the heir. So, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? I hope she get everything and don't nothing happen to her, but I hear people die that as soon as you start liking them in Game of Thrones, they die. So she goes, she tosses the egg to Hightower, punk ass. He put up in the little carry case or whatever. She's like, I ain't carrying this, man. I'm flying back. You carry this back. And it's a 2-day trip on a boat to get this. She's like, you carry this, dog. I'm flying back. So she get back. And then somebody snitch on her, talking about she just got back from Dragonstone. Daddy confront her. He's like, what are you doing? That was too dangerous. Why are you doing this? It's like, look, I went there to handle the conflict without bloodshed. Hightower punk ass couldn't do that. Come on, Daddy. You know his heart pump Kool-Aid, so come on, man. That's why I went there. So no bloodshed happened. And I got the dragon egg back. He's like, all right, yeah, you are your mother's daughter. I get it. So they sit down and have a heart-to-heart and just like, yo, you know, I do got to take on a wife, but I am not trying to have an heir to take your place. Even if I have a son, you will still be my heir to the throne. Okay, reassuring her. And then it's like, look, I can never replace your mother. And then that's what she was like, okay, you know, I'm glad you feel that way. I didn't know how you felt all this time. We really weren't talking. I give you my blessing to have another remarry for the, for the kingdom. I know it's expected of you. Fine, boom. Don't worry about it. No hard feelings. I ain't gonna be mad. I'm like, all right. So they go back to the council, and he's like, yo, I want to announce that I'm gonna remarry. And Corlys sit up in his chair, ready to give this speech and shake the king's hand. He said, yeah, I'm taking Lady Alicent Hightower as my new queen. Boy, that Negro jumped up real fast. How dare you? He looked at him like, she is not pure Targaryen blood. He So how dare you would do me like this, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, bro, you better sit your ass down, bro. You better know your place. I said I'm marrying this girl right here. I ain't marrying your infant. I mean, she ain't nothing but 3 years older, but still, she looks way younger than the other chick. I mean, both of them look mad young. But anyway, he got feelings for the chick. She picked his dragon, you know what I'm saying, his model dragon. Shows that she cares. That's who you want to have children with. Boom, it's about to go off, and you hear Corlys talking, and he's plotting with Daemon Targaryen to basically take action where the king wouldn't. And his whole thing was he want to attack the crab feeder who's trying to take over the shores and take their shipping lanes. Okay, you take the shipping lanes, they're going to be crippled with supplies. And it's going to be a easy access to the kingdom. So he's not trying to conspire against the king. He's more conspiring to take their armies and go fight. So that way they can get power within the nation by saying, hey man, these guys took action where the king just want to sit back and talk about tournaments and have dinners and don't want to act. So this way he's trying to manipulate Daemon. It's like, okay, you have the royal name to make this happen, and I have the navy to back your army. So that's how it ends. And they, you know, join the forces to possibly go attack this invader force. So that was the show. Man, this show is excellent. It's absolutely excellent. I don't know if the other Game of Thrones were this good. Outside the incest that really, you know, turned my stomach, man, the show is really written well. I can't wait for episode 3, man. You know, old head newbie watching Game of Thrones or, you know, House of the Dragon. I'm digging it, man. This is appointment TV. I like this. Especially a change from that She-Hulk. We don't even want to bring that up right now. Thank you guys for watching, and please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, ding ding, to get all our latest videos. We will be doing this this weekend. I think this is the weekend of D23, so we will be covering all the new trailers that come out of there, the additions of the timeline for the MCU in phase 6, because a whole bunch of stuff was missing in phase 6. It was just Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty, you know, and it's just like, okay, those two at the end, what are we gonna get all in the middle? So I'm sure that D23 is going to be packed, so we're going to be doing a lot of videos, most likely, of content coming out of D23. Rick and Morty new season is coming up soon, so we will be doing those episodes whenever they come out. We'll be doing a review of those. I watched Samaritan. I may do like a quick little video of that, but yeah, that was comedy. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, man. This is Dixon Way. This is your boy Shin, aka Larry. Hope you enjoyed this review. And as we say in the A, peace up, A-Town down. Well, I'll let you.